Well, Congressman, thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, Cable. Thank you.
My pleasure. So where are you today?
I am in Washington, D.C. We are voting right now. We're in between votes, and so I figured I'd come sit down with you real quick before we get back to voting.
What's on the docket for voting here today?
Funding the United States government. So
There's a little thing there.
yeah, so that's what we're working on today.
Oh
We got
yeah.
four bills left to get out of the House to keep the government open, and then the Senate will take up the rest of those next week. So that's where we're at right now.
That's been super annoying just watching historically when Obama was president. Well, they blame the Republicans for shutting the government down, right? And now
Yep.
that Republicans are in charge, they blame the Republicans for shutting the government down.
Oh yeah, there's no winning being a Republican on the government shutdowns apparently in the media, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything different. So
Right, right. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Like if you're
yeah,
the
that's
party
right.
that's not in power, you're the one that's shutting the government down.
That's
And,
right.
and it's fair to say we did it, I mean, but let's call a spade a spade. You're doing it now.
Yep.
Um, and then I saw Chuck Schumer come out the other day and be like, "Well, if we win the midterms, we're gonna undo all the Doge cuts." I'm just like, "Yeah, that seems like a good plan. Why don't you run on that platform?"
Well, that's actually part of the reason it's important for us to get these funding bills done because, look, we would hopefully be able to stave off them being able to pass their budget. And so then if we were able to force the Democrats, if they're in charge, which I think we will keep the House, I think we're going to
Mhm.
be able to do that. But if we didn't, now this is the Trump budget. We're currently still in a Biden budget. If we have the Trump budget, so now they would have a continuing resolution that continues the Trump spending level. So that's why it's so important to get these bills done.
hmm I guess the World Economic Forum's going on in Davos this week, and I forget his name, but he's the president of the Citadel, and he was just talking about how awful Bidenomics were for anybody that's running a business. I'm like, wow, you don't really see a lot of pro right wing stuff coming out of Switzerland when all the elites get together and meet there.
No, no, you don't. I wasn't invited, unfortunately. Just
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, well, so I don't know if are you from West Virginia originally?
I am.
Okay. I have thoughts on that. Not unrelated to you, but I don't I don't know if I like the idea of folks running for political office in a state that they're not from. And I
It
certainly
happens,
oh
but
yeah.
it's not. It's a little strange for folks in West Virginia sometimes because I mean, there's the people here. I mean, we're like I'm seventh generation born in
hmm
West Virginia, so I mean, it's we've been here before this was a country.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's a little tricky, sometimes when you get folks from out of state. Now they win sometimes and they kind of acclimate to the culture, but yeah, it's a little
Well,
different.
I have less of an issue with that than I do with people that aren't born in the United States running for political office. Like that, I think it should be a non-starter. I mean, look at Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
Her loyalty is clearly to Somalia first. Then we have, oh, what's his name? Shri Thanadair. I mean, I can't even understand what the guy's saying. I just feel
Yeah,
like,
I just saw him on the House floor. He literally doesn't speak English.
yeah,
I don't know what he's saying. And Elon Omar, I mean, has been very clear. Her loyal, our president's here. I'm like, what? Trump? No, the president of Somalia.
you're right.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
wow.
How much do you and she doesn't make any qualms about saying how really doesn't like this country, wants to change it. Like, well, why did you come here then? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
well, you count your $30 million in your bank account or whatever it is on a. I haven't looked at your bank account, but
It's
you
not too
know,
much in there.
like we have, and I'm not trying to besmirch Dan Crenshaw, but like he's become very wealthy, and he's from my state. I've had him on the show before, and I just, I look at the amount of wealth that a lot of politicians have amassed, and I'm just like, I thought this was about public service originally, but
Yeah, I mean, so for me, at one point worked in the private sector and did have some stocks. But then when I got elected state treasurer of West Virginia, and I didn't have to do this, there was no law. I'm like, I think it makes sense for me to like sell all these since I'm going to be dealing in securities for the state. So I don't, I don't own any stock. I don't think we should. But so I don't day trade or do any, I don't have a brokerage account or any of that stuff. But all I got is retirement accounts and that's it, but it's public service, I mean, there's a lot of ways to make money out there. This probably shouldn't be one of them.
Well, and I'm not saying that you can't capitalize on your notoriety by public speaking and these other engagements and writing books or whatever it is. But it seems like there's quite a few who just get into politics to, start amassing a pretty healthy bankroll. Now, I think we got hooked up because you shot a deer this year.
I've shot a deer many years, but yes,
Okay.
this year I got a little better than my previous years, and it's a really funny story around it. I got a buddy of mine. We go hunting together every season, and so this year, and so I'm doing a Euro mount on it. I like the Euro mounts.
Sure.
And a little cheaper too. So, but I think they look cool. I really like them. So I got an 8-point, and so I put an 8-point down. And the interesting story about it, though, is so we trade off every year who gets the first shot. And so last year, opening day, I see this buck, and it's about 250 yards out or whatever. I'm not in a tree stand. We're on the ground and in a blind. And so I see his head poke out. I'm super pumped. I'm excited. I got first shot. And so from what I could see, I was like, I mean, pretty decent size, 6-point. And it was not, by the way. And so I shot him, put him down, and didn't have to go track a blood trail or anything. So
what caliber?
6.5 Creedmoor.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like that round a lot. I know it's like all the rage now, 6.5 Creedmoor, but I really like it. It's a hot round. It's flat. Like I like it. So
a lot of people make fun of it.
I know. I'm a fan.
So my son took his to Africa and he shot 6 animals with it, and he made a believer out of me because I have made fun of it, and even though I have one, it's like Texas, we're overrun with feral hogs, and I shoot a 6.5 Creedmoor as like my truck gun. And so I've shoot pigs and coyotes with it. And then I saw him shoot 500-pound animals in Africa with a 140 grain bullet out of that thing and just tumping them over. And he's 12 years old at the time. So yeah, it is a good caliber for sure.
Yeah. And I know everybody got all, worked up on it and stuff. And I was not, I'm with you. For a while I was like, I don't know about all that. And then my buddy got one. I was like, yeah, it's actually kind of cool. So, so I put it down and I go up to the deer and I'm there, field dress, right when I get there, I'm like, man, this is not a 6-point. It had like an antler broken off. And I mean, this was a mangled buck. And I'm like, okay, all right. I should have waited. And I'll tell you what, I should have, because my buddy, second shot, I've field dressed the thing. I've thrown it in the back of the truck. I'm taking it to the processor. This thing is unmountable. It's not, let's just go process the thing. He calls me as I'm on my way to the processor, and he's like, I need you to turn around. I just put a deer down, and I put a buck down. And he's like, I'm going to send you a picture right now. You're not going to believe this. And it was a 10-point.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, oh, man. And it was kind of like one of those... one of those like crab looking kind of racks kind of turned in. And I mean, it was really pretty. And I'm like, oh man, I should have waited. And tells you what a good friend I have. So this season, he's like, I'm going to let you go first, even though I won't let you go first last year. And so I put this 8-point down. He's about 210 yards out this year. And I was really happy with it.
Yeah.
And then my buddy, he got the kind of mangled deer. It was like a kind of a 5 starting to get to a six. I mean, it was not a good looking buck. He's like, don't even call it a buck. This is not. It's it was great this year. Previous years, I've done, relatively the same. We also, him and I go turkey hunting, but when it's running for office, I prefer spring, but spring is my primary. And so a lot of times I'll go in the fall. In the off year, I mean, I can do spring. This year, I can't do spring because we got my primary. But definitely prefers spring to fall turkey. I mean, 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah. But
how many turkeys can you shoot in West Virginia?
You can shoot one.
Okay. So we can shoot 4, and we can shoot them in the fall. I've never shot one in the fall. I save all 4 of mine for springtime.
Yeah, and I've gone in the fall. I've never had any luck. And I never had any luck. And it's crazy. So it's I'm trying to remember when this was, but it was this year. Couldn't go out for spring. And I was like, man, I really want to get out. And I couldn't get out, just family stuff and this and that. And my daughter says, hey, you see there in the backyard? I mean, I had, no joke, like 12 turkeys just like hanging out in my backyard past hunting season and all that. And I'm like, oh, God, of course they're just like hanging out around my house right now. But anyway, I mean, there's like one big Jake in there kind of cruising around. I'm like, oh, great. But, I mean, West Virginia, basically everybody hunts. It's pretty good. I mean, you're Texas. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I guess unless you're, I don't know if people in Houston
It's entrenched in y'all's culture.
Oh, yeah.
I've elk hunted in New Mexico, which has nothing to do with West Virginia, for a long time. But every September, I see these West Virginia plates start showing up in New Mexico, and it's bear dogs. It's guys running bears. So I guess New Mexico season opens before West Virginia's, and they're like, "Where's the first place we can legally go hunt bears?" And they just all these trucks with the dogs show up, and so I just knew from looking at that, I was like, "Well, they've got a pretty good hound hunting culture in West Virginia."
They do, and I got a lot of buddies that do that. I've not really been into it as much. Usually deer, turkey, go fishing, stuff like that. I've not done that one. I got a lot of buddies that do it though. I did one of my friends. Of course, I don't have my phone on me. It's not like I can show it to you on the screen. But he got a massive black bear this season. I was like, dang, man, I think it's freaking huge.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about a couple things that I think the conservatives got right. In the House, we passed H.R. 845, which was wolf delistation. And that is now headed to the Senate. I think they've got like a month or so to figure that out. But that would be huge, a huge win for conservation. Definitely. To delist wolves. They are recovered. There's no science to support keeping them protected, especially in the Great Lakes states where, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan have no recourse. At least Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho can manage their wolves. They've got their own plans in place. But like I talked to a guy in an Illinois deer camp. He was from Wisconsin. He used to hunt in the north woods of Wisconsin. And he said, we don't even go to our camp anymore because the wolves have wiped out the whitetail. He's like, that's why I'm here in Illinois. He's like, he said, and you look at what it's done to small towns up there. He's like, they used to rely on hunters coming in to make the majority of their money for the year. It's like, they're all out of business. It's like, because of wolves. Yeah.
Well, for me, I know the issue pretty well because my sister actually lives in Idaho. And tough, full confession, admitting here, my sister's probably I'm just going to say slightly. She watches this. She's going to be like, you're wrong. Slightly better outdoorsman than me. She slept there slaying mule deer. I mean, she killed it out here when she was living in West Virginia and over in the Virginia side and everything. I mean, she's got a record-breaking bass in my county where she still won't tell me where she caught it, and it was 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And because she comes back home and visits, and I know it was in a kayak. I do know that. But I do know the wolf issue just through my family out there, and I have been to Idaho, and yeah, I mean, talking to my brother-in-law and my sister, I mean, it is a serious issue. At least they do have some recourse there
Mm-hmm.
there in Idaho.
Yeah. Well, so hopefully the Senate will pass that, and we can finally get science-based management back front and center when it comes to wolves. I'm not sure how I feel about HJR 140. This was more recent, and that is the boundary waters. I guess opening up the boundary waters to mining. And I've been there. I've fished the boundary waters, smallmouth bass fishing, walleye in Minnesota and on the Canadian side. And that is a very pristine wilderness. And so for me, it's like, do I want to see development go in there? Probably not. But I also don't want to be buying this stuff from China. Like,
No.
I don't know. There's a fine line there.
There is, and I will say we all had questions about this in conference on that bill, and there is a buffer zone that's set up in there, as it was explained to me. I'm not as familiar with the area, but there's a buffer zone that's set in place by law already that's going to protect large portions of that. And obviously, as you know, I mean, this is try to get us off of the supply chain of China. But that buffer zone is going to ensure that there's a large area that's protected in there. And that's the way it was explained to me here just recently, which I was like, okay, all right, well, that's good, and it's already in law, so that's good.
My friend Gabriella Hoffman, she's real in tune with the inner workings of that kind of stuff, and she told me that they also have water runoff restrictions. Like, this isn't 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Like, we have modernized the way that we would implement it, and that these companies will be held to a high standard as far as making sure they are not polluting the environment. I guess it would be an eyesore, right, if you saw it, but because it is like you want to get away from people. Because you got a portage, you know what that is, where you pick your canoe up and carry it to the next lake, because it's just lake after lake after lake after lake, and there'll be just a little land bridge, and you put all your stuff on your back and then put the canoe on your head, and you and your buddy or dad or whoever hike it to the next lake. I mean,
that's cool.
There's nothing there, and it's so remote and wonderful. But again, it's like, I'm torn about that one, but as long as they are with the plans in place to make sure that it's done in an environmentally friendly way as much as possible, then I don't want China to get a dime from us.
No, and look, I'm with you. Look, I certainly would by no means define myself as an environmentalist, but I'm certainly a conservationist, and
same.
I want to see things protected. That's why we got the new national park in designation in West Virginia, New River Gorge. But one of the things that was critically important to us is we wanted that national park designation, but we also still wanted the right to be able to hunt it. And we were able to get that. But we wanted those lands preserved, and we have that. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of the state of West Virginia. But we still want to be able to continue with our outdoor lifestyle that we've always had generationally in the state of West Virginia. But I want things conserved. I don't want, it's a funny thing. It's where, the liberals got into this whole like carbon climate, whatever cult thing, but got away from just how about we just it's funny, like the left-wing folks, you go visit their cities, their states, there's trash everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, can we just get back to let's not pollute, putting trash, it drives me crazy. You go over there and, a state like West Virginia, we've increased fines for littering, pollution, things like that, in kind of our wildlife refuge areas, things like that. But, you go to these like blue states and there's trash everywhere.
You encourage homelessness and, open air drug scenes and stuff like that. Yeah, you're going to have trash.
Yeah.
And feces on the sidewalk. I mean,
it's like they're always trying to find places where we can have like commonality, and it should be, let's get the trash out of our beautiful, pristine outdoor areas here in our great country. I mean, that's something we should all be able to agree with.
Right. As far as, what are your thoughts on and I say this because I'm 44 and I've never seen our country more divided. How do we get back to, and I'll give you an example. If you're driving down just a neighborhood, X neighborhood in suburban America, if you see an American flag and flying in front of someone's house, you could pretty much know which way they voted.
Yeah.
How do we
That's right.
get there? And how do we get back to, we're all Americans, we're on the same page? And I don't know, maybe we can't. Like, I'm looking at Alberta. They want out. They want to leave Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten that bad for them. And I just don't know what the way forward is for us as a country.
Yeah, look, it's something I think about a lot, but I'm just going to give you my straightforward, honest opinion. I don't think anything's going to change for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it is. And it's unfortunately where we are. Now, West Virginia is probably one of, I guess, the last places where, and I knock doors when I campaign, and there'll be an American flag outside there. Sometimes they're Democrats. Now,
That's good to hear.
We're kind of the last bastion of it, I think. But 9 out of 10 times in this country, you're right. It's like this is like a political statement that I love this country, therefore I'm a Republican. It's like, well, what's going on here? Like, are we all Americans? Shouldn't we have some level of patriotism for our great nation here? Totally agree with you, but I don't think it's going to change for a while, unfortunately. I don't think this is going to level out for quite a while.
I appreciate the honesty. It sucks to hear that, but
I'm sorry. And a lot of it is there's less and less human interaction, and we're driving further and further away from that, where people are going to interact on the internet, right? And so you can say things that you wouldn't say to somebody in person. You can act a certain way, have almost a different or alternative personality, right? And I think that the dwindling human interaction in society has really affected us. And I think it's going to continue to. I'm sure somebody at some point is going to come up with some business model like, hey, I got this new concept where you go meet people. It's called a bar. Right? Like, and you do see that. Like, bars are good things. People should go to them and talk to people, I mean, whether you drink or not, go interact with some of your colleagues here or some of your peers. Just don't sit on the internet tweeting at each other. I mean, that's not a good thing.
So our Governor Abbott, he implemented a rule for this current school year that kids cannot have their cell phones. They can have them in their bag or in their locker or whatever. They cannot take them out during the school day, period, or you get in trouble. And my son, who is 13, he's in 7th grade, he said last year he'd be sitting at lunch with his buddies and everyone would be on their phone, not talking. Now they're learning how to talk to each other. God forbid, go talk to a girl,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there you go. Yeah. And it's funny, the whole length of human interaction here. I mean, the whole breadth of it. There's like online dating apps. Like, how do I meet somebody? Let me Google it. It's like, go out there and talk to somebody. That's how you meet people. It's crazy. Yeah. It's like the internet. Maybe AI can help me find a girlfriend. It's like, no, you just go out in the world and talk to somebody.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's been interesting. On another note, watching this week the Supreme Court, and I think last week as well, but they're taking on the case of the trans athletes, basically biological males participating in female high school sports. And I'm listening, like Ketanji Brown Jackson, and I think Sotomayor is going to vote the same way. They're women voting against women.
Yeah.
How do you suss that out internally? Like, women have made all of these steps for women's rights, and now it's women that are going to derail it. Really, it's white liberal. Well, Ketanji Brown's not white, but it's liberal women. They're going to derail the progress.
Yeah. Well, and actually, that's a West Virginia law that's being challenged in the Supreme Court. So that was actually us that passed that in West Virginia, banning males from female sports, which the crazy thing here is they are literally going to destroy women's sports.
Right.
So we came up with Title IX to give girls the opportunity to have sports because character building, leadership skills, all these things that you get from sports, scholarships or otherwise, and opportunities. We had women's sports created under Title IX for high school, college, and otherwise, and they're literally going to destroy it. That was like the feminist push, movement, equality push at the time that generally, right, the population said, that makes sense. Let's have female sports. Yes, okay, there's a lot of, and it's going to be taken over by biological males, by men, and it's literally going to destroy female sports. It's like the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's eye-opening to watch them destroy what took decades to build.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and it's women that are doing it. Let's head to Minnesota. And we don't have to get into Renee Good and ICE and everything. I mean, I'm obviously sad that she was killed, but I saw the video from every angle and was like, well, what did you expect? Like, but more recently this week, well, I guess it was Sunday, Don Lemon, who might be the biggest scumbag of a human being on planet Earth, decides to. He didn't actually come up with the idea. That lady's been arrested. I saw she got arrested today. That orchestrated the protest on private property. You didn't leave when you were told to leave. And then Don Lemon, unfortunately for him, there's video evidence of him saying he's going to be a part of this thing. And then he is a part of it, and he films it, and then he's harassing the preacher. And then the guy, and I don't know about your religious affiliation. I'm a Christian. But when I hear Don Lemon say, that's not the type of Christianity I practice, I'm like, I don't even think you have talked to God maybe ever. Or I mean, Joe Biden calls himself a Christian too.
Yeah.
I don't buy that for a second, right? I mean, but yeah, I hope they nail them to the cross. I really do.
Oh, I really hope that they do. And even President Trump addressed this. And myself, I'm a Catholic, practicing church every Sunday. Faith really kind of guides everything I do in my life. Unfortunately, I will tell you this, last weekend, I had protesters outside of my church protesting me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that actually happened. And it's happening everywhere. I don't know if they were from West Virginia or not, but they were there. And, they're trying to come after all of us at the most sacred places in our communities and in our lives. There's no line for them. And the only line that we have to protect us is the United States Constitution, which they don't actually believe in.
Right.
And that's why Don Lemon is accosting a pastor in his own church and saying, this isn't Christian. Excuse me? I have a First Amendment right to be here in worship with my congregation. I hope Don Lemon goes to jail over this, because we can't allow this to continue to happen. Can't happen anymore.
No, I mean, and if they get away with it, or tiny slap on the wrist, whatever, then it's the same reason why did Renee Good feel emboldened that she should be there antagonizing ICE? It's because nobody's suffering any consequences, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we need to say, hey, this is the law. We're going to enforce the law, and you will be held responsible for your actions.
Yes.
But they think that they can just do whatever they want.
They think they can do whatever they want. I mean, look, they didn't come into my church, but they were outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and look, I pray for those people that showed up at my church and that church. I hope they find something much more constructive to do on their Sundays, like going to an actual church and worshiping, try to find some direction in their lives. But yeah, I mean, it's a sad commentary. You're saying, like, how do we come together? How do you come together with those people?
Yeah, I don't think
you just don't. You don't.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you have people like that here in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Like we do.
Like you said, maybe it's going to get worse before it gets better, but we just pray.
Right.
One thing that I cannot stand in being in this space in the outdoors, it happens all the time. People are like, oh, you're just some MAGA fascist. Are you happy now? I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm happy about, I filled up my truck the other day and it didn't cost me $100. It was like $65. I'm happy about that. Yeah. I'm happy that we're holding the rest of the world accountable as far as you're going to pay your fair share. We're not going to float this thing for all of y'all. You're going to pay your tariffs. I like 3% inflation compared to 8% inflation.
Yeah.
I like a closed border. And these people are like, they say that we're in a cult and call us MAGA. I'm like, I was a Republican before Donald Trump, and I will be a Republican after Donald Trump. And do I agree with everything that Trump does? Of course not. But 70% of the time, I'm aligned with the Republican. It's probably a lot more than that. I'm just saying, just throwing spitball in here. And that's why I'm going to vote. But they think, do they really think, because this is the way they phrase it, that half of the United States all of a sudden they were Democrats and then they became MAGA? Like, oh, I was a Republican based off of my really religious beliefs and national pride and all these other things. And I will be after Donald Trump. It has nothing to do with him.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're the cult members. I mean, you all are the ones, the Democrats are the ones that literally lied to all of us and tried to run a corpse for president in the last election cycle. And they're like, no, it's fine. He's never been better. I try to keep up with him. Come to find out, he's sleeping most of the day. The job is being done via auto pen. And they just lie. I mean, cult mentality will make you do and say things that are just straight up lies and mistruths. And that's what they were doing through this last cycle, because their cult is a cult of power and control over the rest of us. And that is what they will not give up. That's why they're willing to run a guy like Joe Biden who has dementia. They're like, nah, it's fine. We're okay. Don't worry about it. He's never been better.
But let me
He's
see
eating
your
ice cream. It's okay.
Right. fall up the stairs, fall off your bike,
Yeah.
But also, show me your vaccine passport, but have a problem with saying, could we see your actual paperwork? Like,
yeah. Need the vaccine passport. Oh, you're here to vote? I don't need any identification. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine.
Do you think that who do you predict will win the Democratic nomination for president?
I'm going to give you my actual view on it. The Democratic nomination, if she runs, it will be Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh, my gosh.
That's who I think. If she runs, AOC is going to win the nomination. That's what I think.
Wow. I didn't want to hear that, but
that's just what I think.
Gavin Newsom's just as bad. I mean,
Gavin's going to try to do what he can, but if she were to run, I think she wins the nomination.
Okay, well, I hope that she doesn't, and because socialism sucks. It's never worked.
Yeah, it's not great. No, it's not good.
I mean, why don't you ask Miami why they turned red? A lot of Cubans there saying, "Oh wow, yeah, socialism, communism, not really that great."
Yeah, not so good. Not too many Cubans in Miami dying to go back to Cuba.
Right.
Wow.
Like, so AOC, we're gonna have bartender running for president. Possibly.
I think if she runs, I think she's hard to beat. I think she's got the Democrat base with her. She has demonstrated an ability to raise money, big money. And she is not as dumb as people think she is. She's clever. She's savvy. So be careful. Watch out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would assume J.D. Vance will run, but I feel fairly good about that.
Oh, yeah. That's who I want 2028. Vice President Vance, that's my guy. All the way.
Right on. Well, as we are wrapping up here, I know you've got to get back to the house floor. Bucket list hunts for you, or fishing trips. I know you probably have done most of your stuff there in West Virginia. Have you ever gone out west? Do you want to do that? Do you want to go to Africa?
I really want to go out west. And so in particular, Ryan Zinke, who's congressman out there in Montana, I really want to go out to Montana. And he's talked about these bison hunts that you can do out in Montana. Just for me, it just seems like so American, right? Like I just want to experience that. Apparently,
you won't be able to shoot it with your 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah, I know that. I have been told that, and so that's probably top of my list because I've been talking to Ryan Zinke about it so much, and apparently you can kind of go out with some of the Native American tribes and go do that with it. It just sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of top of my list. That's what I would like to do.
Well, you'd have to buy a new freezer.
I know, right? Yeah, yeah, quite a bit
Mm.
more meat than I'm getting off a buck here in West Virginia.
Right, right. Well, Congressman, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it, and I think West Virginia is a very proud state. Has a lot of cultural heritage that you guys are very proud of. Reminds me a lot of Texas, and thanks for voting to keep America great there on the House floor.
No, thank you so much, Cable. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate
All right,
it.
take care.
Take care. God bless.